First up, let's talk about Rahul Gandhi. Ladies and gentlemen, he is currently on a 4-day tour of the United States, and his remarks from abroad have sparked another big, significant political upheaval back home. During his visit, Rahul Gandhi has made sweeping statements on various issues. This includes questioning the fairness of the Election Commission, criticizing the BJP and the RSS, and making some very, very controversial remarks about communal divisions and China's economic strength. Just 2 months, remember, after the general elections conclude in the country, Rahul Gandhi has once again raised allegations of quote-unquote electoral unfairness. Speaking at an event in Georgetown University, Rahul Gandhi has claimed that the BJP's significant financial advantage and the Election Commission's bias has undermined the integrity of the election process. First up, the comment, then we get you more reactions.
I don't think the BJP, in a fair election, they were nowhere near 240 seats. No way. I mean, I'd be surprised if they had a financial, huge financial advantage. They had locked our bank accounts for one, but huge war chest. The Election Commission was doing what they wanted. I mean, the entire campaign was structured so Mr. Modi could, do his thing across the country. States where they were weak were designed differently than states where they were strong. So I don't view it as a free election at all. I view it as a rather controlled election.
And also the India bloc has come out in a strong defense of Rahul Gandhi following those recent remarks on the election fairness. The Congress now has demanded answers from the BJP regarding the freezing of accounts during the general elections. The RJD has also accused the BJP of using central agencies to win elections. The DMK has also weighed in the entire controversy. What they allege is that the BJP manipulated the polls to ensure favorable outcomes. Listen in again to their responses.
These are all known to the media as well as to the whole world that Congress party's accounts, Youth Congress account, every party accounts has been frozen, and they had made us to suffer in the beginning of the elections, but we fought with the people of India, and the people of India stood with us. The Election Commission was becoming an organization which was working as an event manager for Mr. Modi and Amit Shah. Everybody knows it. Why BJP is afraid when they hear this truth now?
We also have our colleague Niyamika joining us live for more insight into this story. Niyamika, many would say that these are the same charges being repeated again. Now, when the elections have concluded and the Congress has also improved its tally, its allies have done better. So by saying that the elections were fudged, everything was compromised. Why? Because our accounts were frozen. Is Rahul Gandhi only putting out the half-truth? And what is the response from the Congress's own camp back here?
Well, the major question here, which Rahul Gandhi has asked, is about when he has said that these are basically an unbiased elections that have taken place in the country. He has said that if it would have been a free and fair elections, then there was no chance that the BJP would have touched the mark of 246, as that is what is being repeated by many of the Congress leaders here, as well as they have also said that why BJP is not ready to accept the truth, because it is indeed a truth that the accounts of the Congress party were being seized just ahead of the general elections. And not just this, but in fact the Congress leaders are also questioning the credibility of Election Commission of India, because Rahul Gandhi has also said it very clearly that the Election Commission was acting according to what was being asked by Prime Minister Narendra Modi, and that is the only reason why he has also mentioned that it was not a free and fair election. It was not a level playing field for all the political parties out there, as he has mentioned that the BJP is being misusing the agencies against the opposition leaders, and that is a well-known fact. As we have also seen that how the BJP is also reacting over the same. They are also questioning that why such kind of statement has been made by Rahul Gandhi on a foreign land, because they are saying that Rahul Gandhi is now a leader of opposition in Lok Sabha, and he should speak sensibly when he is speaking abroad, as this is something which is related to the image of our country. This is something which is related to the democracy of our country, and that's the only reason why the BJP is also saying that he should choose his words very wisely when he is speaking, when he is on an tour to a foreign land. So for that reason, now the Congress party has hit back at the BJP and saying by saying that it was Prime Minister Narendra Modi who had given various statements when he was on a foreign tour, whether it is about about Jawaharlal Nehru or criticizing the opposition parties, or when he had also given a statement that it is very tough when someone lives in India. So all of these kind of statements are being repeated by the Congress party of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, as even the chief spokesperson of the Congress party has also mentioned that criticizing the BJP doesn't mean that someone is criticizing India. As being an opposition party, it is our responsibility to mention about all those fault lines which are there in the policies of the ruling party, which is there by the ruling government, and for that reason only Rahul Gandhi has made this statement when he was addressing there in US.
All right, Niyamika, but I'm sure that the Congress will be at pains to really explain that how fair is it to talk about the quote-unquote fairness of an election that has concluded. Multiple times you've also had the Election Commission inviting the opposition that if you believe EVMs can be hacked, come forward. But we haven't seen much participation again from the Congress on that particular charge. But this is not the only charge that he's levelling, remember, against the government. Niyamika will stay with us as we'll tell you next about what more Rahul Gandhi has said that has stoked another big controversy. Now, he has spoken about the BJP, he's spoken about the RSS, the definition of God, as well as China's quote-unquote economic strength. But now he's fielded a communal accusation that is seldom mentioned back here in the country. Rahul Gandhi has chosen to pick up the Sikh community to explain to the Americans that how communities are having to fight to really practice their faith here in the country. Mentioning a Sikh man in the crowd, Rahul Gandhi claims that the battle in India is actually about whether Sikhs will be allowed to wear their turbans or even their kada or even visit a Gurdwara in India. Hard to believe? Listen in to what he said.
Fight is not about politics. That is superficial. The fight is about whether he, as a Sikh, is going to be allowed to wear his turban in India. Or he, as a Sikh, is going to be allowed to wear a kada in India. Or he, as a Sikh, is going to be able to go to Gurdwara. That's what the fight is about. And not just for him, for all religions.
And apart from the implication that Sikhs aren't allowed to freely wear their turbans in the country, Rahul Gandhi's argument is also noteworthy for being made in the US. Now, why so? Because US, remember, already has a long and a checkered, well-documented history of Sikhs facing persecution or being misidentified because of the ignorance or the act of racism. Union Minister Hardeep Singh Puri addressed a BJP briefing earlier over Rahul Gandhi's remarks. He's put forth that the only time Sikhs were prevented from practicing their faith in India was during the Congress governments of Indira Gandhi and Rajiv Gandhi later, when they were being hunted down.
Never come across any case where any Sikh has voiced a problem about wearing a turban or supporting a kada. And yet, during the pogrom against the Sikh community in 1984, many of my friends, because they were being attacked, they got clean shaven and shed their turban. Out of fear, not as a matter of choice. What you do as a matter of choice is entirely your choice, and you should go ahead and do it. And I call on my Sikh compatriots, my brothers and sisters, to see what kind of statements he is making and show them up for the nonsense that it is.
Let's also get you a detailed conversation that we've had with the Union Minister Hardeep Singh Puri on a number of these issues and what is the advice that he has for Rahul Gandhi.
I am astounded. Where in India has there been ever an issue on whether I can wear a turban, whether I can go to the Gurdwara Sahib, whether I can, practice my religion openly? I don't think there's ever been any question. So is he making it up? If he's making it up, then he's doing himself a great disservice. I would not be surprised if the Gurdwara committee turns around and asks him कि भाई ये कहाँ पे आपको लगा कि Sikhs are not able to wear a turban? That's the least they can ask him. He should be aware of its history, even if he was not born there. As far as his relationship with the Sikh community is concerned, he should remember his grandmother ordered military operations in Darbar Sahib. Uske baare bhi, I don't think they have apologized in a very serious way. They got the Prime Minister of later to give a feeble apology. A regret, not an apology, a regret, a feeble one. Not even a strong this thing, I strongly regret I've done something. No, it was not in that tone. तो तुम्हारी कम्युनिटी, तुम्हारी तो सिख कम्युनिटी के साथ रिलेशनशिप ये है, दरबार साहब पे हमला करा दिया. आपके जो फादर साहब थे, उन्होंने कहा कि बड़ा पेड़ जब गिरता है तो धरती हिलती है, और 3,000 members of my community were killed in cold blood. That is what I call your relationship with the Sikh community. And now you're talking about you become the champion of Sikhs. You turban नहीं पहन सकते, कहाँ नहीं पहन सकते?
So let's push that point a little further. Remember, Hardeep Singh Puri actually spoke about what happened during the 84 era. The reference was, of course, also to the anti-Sikh riots that resulted after Indira Gandhi's assassination. And this is when you had Rajiv Gandhi, who made a very, very damaging remark, purportedly playing down the genocide of at least 3,000 Sikhs, as per official estimates.
जब इंदिरा जी की हत्या हुई थी तो हमारे देश में कुछ दंगे फसाद हुए. हमें मालूम है कि भारत की जनता के दिल में कितना क्रोध आया, कितना गुस्सा आया, और कुछ दिन के लिए लोगों को लगा कि भारत हिल रहा है. लेकिन जब भी कोई बड़ा पेड़ गिरता है तो धरती थोड़ी हिलती है.
And there are multiple reactions that have come in from the BJP following that particular remark. RP Singh is daring Rahul Gandhi to make the exact statement in the country here, and he says as soon as that happens, we'll drag the leader of the opposition to court. Also, Union Minister Shivraj Singh Chauhan has said that Rahul has engaged in treason by maligning the country abroad.
प्रधानमंत्री मोदी जी के रहते किसी के साथ कोई भेदभाव नहीं है. सबके लिए भारत सरकार की जो स्कीम है सबके लिए एक जैसी है. परंतु हाँ, विदेश में जाकर वैमनस्य फैलाना, विदेश में जाकर इस प्रकार की बात करना, ये दिखता है कि राहुल गांधी की सोच का. परंतु मेरा राहुल गांधी को चैलेंज है, जो बात वो विदेश में कह रहे हैं सिखों लेकर हिंदुस्तान में कहें और मैं उनके खिलाफ मुकदमा करूंगा. क्योंकि विदेश में जाकर कहने से उनके खिलाफ मुकदमा नहीं बनता. देश में आकर यही बात रिपीट करे ना कि भाजपा ने सिखों की पगड़ियां उतारी या उनके कड़े उतारे, तो मैं उनको वापस ठीक ढंग से कोर्ट के अंदर घसीटूंगा.
राहुल जी नेता प्रतिपक्ष हैं, और नेता प्रतिपक्ष का पद होता है जिम्मेदारी का पद. मैं राहुल जी को याद दिलाना चाहता हूं, जब श्रीमान अटल बिहारी वाजपेयी जी नेता प्रतिपक्ष थे, देश के बाहर कभी भी नेता प्रतिपक्ष ने देश की छवि खराब करने की कोशिश नहीं की. लेकिन ये ऐसे नेता हैं जो कुंठाग्रस्त हैं. लगातार तीसरी बार पराजय के कारण उनके मन में अंध बीजेपी संघ और मोदी विरोध बैठ गया है, और वो विरोध करते करते देश के ही विरोध करने लगे. लेकिन लगातार राहुल गांधी जी देश की छवि खराब करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं, और देश की छवि खराब करने की कोशिश देशद्रोह जैसी सीमा में ही आता है. और संविधान पर हमले किसने किए? इमरजेंसी कौन ने लगाई? संविधान को तार तार करने का पाप किसने किया? राहुल गांधी जी भारत जोड़ो यात्रा तो करते हैं, लेकिन ना तो भारत से जुड़ पाए, ना भारत की जनता से जुड़ पाए, यहाँ की संस्कृति, जीवन मूल्य और परंपराओं से जुड़ पाए. दुर्भाग्यपूर्ण है राहुल गांधी जी का ये व्यवहार.
एक गांव की कहावत है, 100 चूहा खा के बिल्ली चली हज करने. जो कांग्रेस पार्टी आज़ादी के बाद से तुष्टीकरण की राजनीति की, सिखों का कत्लेआम किया, और वो आज पाठ पढ़ाने चले हैं. तो मेरे यहाँ कहावत है, जो अज्ञानी ज़्यादा होते हैं वो अपने ज्ञान का प्रदर्शन ज़्यादा करते हैं. यही राहुल गांधी है.
राहुल गांधी का ये बयान मानो 100 चूहे खाकर बिल्ली हज को चली. मतलब कि इससे बड़ी हिपोक्रेसी हो नहीं सकती. जिनके परिवार ने सिख नरसंहार को, जहां पर 4,000 से ज्यादा सिखों को मारा काटा गया, उसे जस्टिफाई किया. कहा बड़ा पेड़ गिरता है तो धरती हिलती है. ये राजीव गांधी के बयान थे. जो व्यक्ति आज राहुल गांधी की ट्रिप ऑर्गेनाइज कर रहे सैम पित्रोदा, उन्होंने कहा सिख दंगा हुआ तो हुआ, नरसंहार हुआ तो हुआ. वो व्यक्ति
सिखों की बात कर रहा है, सिखों के अधिकार की बात कर रहा है। मतलब कि कम से कम राहुल गांधी जी को इतनी बेशर्मी नहीं दिखानी चाहिए।
84 के दंगे के अंदर बड़ा पेड़ गिरता है तो धरती ढलती और लाखों सिखों को बर्बाद करने का काम किया, हजारों सिखों का कत्लेआम किया, अकाल तख्त के अंदर प्रवेश किया, जूते चप्पलों से किया, बम से उड़ाने का पाप उन लोगों ने किया सिखों के साथ में। आज वो हमें बताते हैं, जिसको गुरु ग्रंथ साहब को हम पूजा करते हैं, अभी अफगानिस्तान से हम गुरु ग्रंथ साहब की पृथ्वी किस प्रकार से सम्मान से लेकर आए थे। इन्होंने कभी ऐसा काम किया है? नहीं किया। वो एक एक वर्ग को देश से हटाकर उनकी बुराई कर टुकड़े टुकड़े करना चाहते हैं। वो लोग वो एक षड्यंत्र के तहत काम कर रहे हैं।
So the BJP raining fire on the Congress and Rahul Gandhi in particular. Let's see how the Congress today is responding to what Rahul Gandhi has said.
We know that BJP's problem is speaking about the past when we are speaking about the present, and we have to understand that India's religious unity is more important. Gandhi speaks about the plurality to be saved, the respect for other religions, respect for other beliefs, as he is speaking about it. So Modi and RSS and Amit Shah wants a different kind of structure which is based on hate. We know that their training is like that. They have been trying to hate, and we have been trying to show affection and love.